Sports.
We are Buffalo. We are Ohio.
Last night, defense on full display. One of the most amazing plays we've seen in years made by Brandon Phillips. He also added a home run. The first meeting of the year capped off by Aroldis Chapman picking up the save as the Reds beat the Milwaukee Brewers by a run. We're right back at it this afternoon. A sellout crowd on hand at Great American Ballpark in downtown Cincinnati. The Brewers and the Reds. And the Reds trying to go for the first time all year long to 5 games over the 500 mark. And hi again, everybody, alongside the Cowboy, Jeff Brantley. I'm Tom Brenneman. Welcome, as always, to Reds Baseball here on Fox Sports Ohio. We talked about Matt Latos last night, and Cowboy, undeniably, he has been the best Red starting pitcher in this rotation so far this year.
He has, Tom, and the one thing that we're seeing from Matt Latos is tremendous command of the strike zone. Not a whole lot of walks. The best month of April that we've seen out of Matt in his whole career. Pitching outstanding baseball here at Great American Ballpark, as good as any pitcher that has made at least 10 starts in this ballpark. And pitching well here, well, that's got to be something to talk about. You look at the numbers for Matt Latos against the Brewers. 3 starts last year, 23 innings, only gave up 3 earned runs, and those came via the home run. 2 by Gomez, 1 by Aoki.
Now, some of the guys that have given him some problems looking at this Brewer lineup, but we know this is a very good offensive team. And we start with Aoki. He was on base 5 times.
Well, this guy is seeing the ball well right now. As I said, he hit a home run off of Matt last year, but he's one guy that you have to keep off base, especially early in the ball game. Because as the lineup goes along, whether it's Gomez, this guy who hit 2 home runs off of Latos, or whether it's Ryan Braun, you've got to keep the guy off base in front of him in order to make this lineup really not have a whole lot of power in it.
Well, the Reds did a marvelous job on Braun last night. He has the 11-game hit streak, but he bounced into a big double play, that play made by Phillips last night. And the Reds are trying to keep him quiet, at least for the next 2 days. So the Reds are trying to make it back-to-back wins and trying to cap off at least a series win with a victory here today. And when we come back, the night and the year of Brandon Phillips. You're watching Reds Baseball on Fox Sports Ohio.
presented by authority of the Cincinnati Reds. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds.
Well, you saw that young fella and the first 30,000 through the gates here today, receiving the first ever Aroldis Chapman bobblehead as part of a big giveaway, thanks to our friends from Cincinnati Bell Technology Solutions. All right, our weather. It's much nicer today than it was about this time yesterday. It's brought to you by Eric Dieters, attorney at law. And here's Josh Knight. Hi, Josh.
Good afternoon. As you're heading out to the game today, you're probably going to see some sunshine, but then those clouds build back in. Your most likely dry first pitch, not going to be an issue, even right up until the 7th inning. Just temperatures a little bit cooler today. Probably going to have to deal with a couple spotty showers by the drive home and that final out. Have a good time at the game.
All right, Josh, thank you very much. Welcome aboard at Fox Sports Ohio. And how about Brandon Phillips? Since he went to that number 4 hole, Cowboy, he's getting the job done.
Tom, I think any time that you put Brandon Phillips in a spot where he can be the star of the show, he loves it. Limelight is his friend. And Brandon Phillips hitting in that number 4 spot, well, he's created a whole lot of limelight of his own.
Brandon leading the National League in runs batted in, but take a look at some of the big-time numbers. Go-ahead RBIs, first in the league. Game-winning RBIs, first. Put a runner at third, fewer than 2 men out. Number 1. Runners in scoring position, almost 450. That is indeed Mr. Production. We're ready to roll. Reds trying to make it back-to-back wins over the Brewers. First pitch right around the corner. On Fox Sports Ohio, brought to you by the Ford F-Series trucks, a best-selling truck in America 36 straight years. By Cincinnati USA Regional Tourism Network. Book your stay at CincinnatiUSA.com. And by Skyline Chili, feeling good. It's Skyline time. Very chilly temperatures for this 11th day of May. High 50s getting underway today, and a sellout crowd on hand as a home team takes the field, wearing their Los Rojos jerseys for the first time ever today. Ron Renneke and the Brewers coming in at 15 up, 18 down. Renneke in his 3rd year since replacing Ken Maka. And the same lineup we saw here last night outside of the pitcher. Iram Burgos, who has pitched very, very well. We'll talk more about him in a moment. But in that lineup, 3 of the top 7 hitters in the National League so far this year.
You know, you look at this lineup, Tom, and the way that Matt Latos approached them last year. A couple of 7-inning ball games where he gave up 1 run. He had a 9-inning ball game at their place where he gave up 1 run. But all of those 1 runs came via the home run. 2 from Gomez, 1 from the leadoff hitter and Aoki. And those are the guys that Latos will have to work hard to keep off the backs. He's gotten Braun out pretty regularly, but you got to keep those top guys off, because sooner or later Braun's going to run into one.
Let's take a look at the Reds, but boy were they spectacular on defense last night. Presented by your Ford dealers. I mean, a handful of plays that certainly made the difference in the game. Paul, Chu, and Bruce in the outfield. Frazier and Votto on the corners. Cozart, we know about Phillips defensively, and a battery of Latos and Devin Mesoraco in there. I mean, 2 of those plays were made right in front of the Brewer bench. In front of Ron Renicky. One by Frazier on the sliding grab on the pop-up into foul ground. The diving play on the second batter of the game made by Ryan Hannigan. And apparently, talking to some of the media folks who were down in the Brewers locker room after the game last night, Renicky just talked on and on and on about how great the Reds are, watching them play, you know, roughly 17, 18 times a year on defense.
Well, I think a lot of it goes back to repetitive practice. If you want to be good in the game of baseball from a defensive standpoint, you better be prepared to take 75, 100 ground balls a day. A day. These guys do that.
All right, so here we go. Norichika Aoki to lead things off. He had singles in each of his first 2 at-bats last night. Drew a pair of walks, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 7th. Singled and scored a run in the 9th inning. So on base all 5 plate appearances. Sun beginning to peek through what has been a mostly cloudy day. That is the forecast. Sun will be peeking in and out today. Latos turns it loose. Steve right one, says Brian Knight, the home plate umpire, and we are underway. Dan Iasonia at first base. Mark Carlson at second, and the crew chief Jerry Davis, the umpire, down at third. Strike 2.
If you want the umpire in your favor from the beginning of the ball game, this is the way you start it. Pump it into the strike zone.
Well, we have talked regularly and already just mentioned it briefly today. Matt Latos, who in his very young career, and bear in mind he will not turn 26 until the final month of this calendar year. I mean, he just turned 25 in December, and yet he's had a history in what has been a very good start to his career of starting the season slowly. I'm not sure you can pitch a whole lot better than Latos has so far this year. The 3-0 record, ERA at 2.2, impeccable control, nearly 4-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. 1-2 on the way, and that one just slipped out of his hand.
Tom, we were talking earlier about Brandon Phillips stepping into the limelight and handling that kind of pressure well. Well, Latos has done the same. Johnny Cueto goes down. Latos steps in, pitches like a #1.
And gone on strikes Aoki to begin the game.
Looks like a cut fastball down and in to Norichika Aoki. He got the curveball earlier. He gets the cutter there.
Gene Segura, the shortstop, having an excellent start to this season. .333 battered. That's good enough for 5th best in the National League. Hit a home run here last night. Had 2 hits in 4 at-bats. Was on base 3 times.
Not too many 2-hole hitters in the big leagues, Tom, that you would think come to the plate and can drive the ball out of the park the other way. This kid did it last night.
He drives it the other way here, and Bruce backing up on it. You just got finished saying it, and Segura has done it with his 2nd opposite field home run in as many days. 1-0 Milwaukee.
Like a fastball up and out over the plate, very similar to the pitch he hit off Cingrani last night. Got to pound this guy inside. A young player. He's shown you that he can hit the ball out of the plate. Now you got to break his back. There it is. Fastball up and away. Tomahawk swing.
Now Ryan Braun, he takes a first pitch fastball to strike. So the Brewers have their first lead in this series. They had multiple chances last night to take the lead. They wound up leaving 8 men on base, but you know that goes in the books as 8 men left on base over 9 innings. They actually left the 8 men on base over 6 innings. One ball and 2 strikes to Ryan Braun. 7th best average in the league at .319. 8 home runs and a team best 25 runs batted in. He clubbed number 8 here last night when he went back-to-back the other way along with Segura. That came in the 4th inning against Tony Cingrani. A little extra giddy up on that fastball, reaching 95 miles per hour.
Anytime you face the second batter of the game and he takes you deep, not only out of the ballpark, but hits it the other way, gets under your skull a little bit. A little burr in the saddle.
Breaking ball fouled off out of play by Braun. Braun was the one who hit that ball last night that everybody was still talking about into the night and most of the day today. The absolutely amazing defensive play made by the Reds Gold Glove winning, except for last year, second baseman Brandon Phillips. Now, Latos can't believe he did not get that call from Brian Knight.
Appeared to be another slider, cutter, and can't argue with him there. Neither does Foxtrot.
2-2 once more to Braun. And he tried to go out there again and again does not get it, and Latos is hot. Latos tends to be very emotional. He's still a very young man. And there were times in San Diego, certainly coming up as a really young man, where he would let his temperament get the better of him. And he has walked Ryan Braun.
Now is the time, whether you're Joey Votto or Brandon Phillips, this would be a good point in time to come in and have a little chat with the big right-hander. And you can see Matt taking his time, going back behind the mound. You gather your thoughts and you get it back together. He started out outstanding against Aoki, but you can't let one bad pitch dictate how the game's going to go.
Aramis Ramirez playing in just his 10th game on the season. Recently returned back after a stint on the disabled list following a knee injury, sliding in a game against Arizona the first week of the year. 11 hits and 29 at bats for Ramirez. He was 0 for 2 with a pair of walks here last night. We talked about the Brewers. This team leads the National League in stolen bases. Their percentage is not all that good, but that won't slow them down from being very aggressive. They have 27 steals. They've been thrown out 13 times. High fly ball. Drifting to the warning track. Still drifting is Xavier Paul, and that is off the wall. They're going to wave around Braun. Paul got so close to the wall that he couldn't play it against the wall. And it is 2-0 Milwaukee. And for a very cool day, the ball early on is really traveling here today. That looked like nothing more than a routine pop-up.
You could see Xavier Paul as the ball went into the air. He appeared to stop and then just turn around and run back towards the wall. He either misjudged it severely or the ball just continued to carry. I mean, he really had no chance to catch the ball either way where the ball hit on the wall. But that ball bounced a good 25-30 feet back in, and Chu had to come over from center field to get it.
3 straight Brewers have reached after the strikeout of Aoki to begin the game, and now it's Lucroy. Ramirez, his 5th run batted in on the double. Really, wind does not appear to be a factor at all. They're barely moving out there in deep left center field. We mentioned how cool the temperature is. Well, both of those balls that were hit on a hot summer day, you say, okay,
no big deal. But you look at this Brewer club, Tom, they have a lot of guys in the lineup that they can hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Well, we mentioned last night they were the first team since the Rockies back in the mid-1990s to not only lead the league in stolen bases, but lead the league in home runs. That is a rare combination.
Oh. I think the biggest issue right now is Matt Latos getting back in control of the emotion. Get back to making pitches.
This ball's in the air to deep left center field. And Paul will get to this one. And that's the second out of the inning with Ramirez staying put.
Even on that fly ball that did not get to the warning track, there were still some communication problems between Xavier Paul and the center fielder Chu.
I'm a little surprised, and you know, Dusty gets very touchy when he is asked about the Reds starting lineup. And if you were asked about it every day, I'm sure you or I would get touchy about it as well. So you can understand. But the way that Donald Lutz especially has been swinging the bat here of late, has base hits in 5 consecutive games, and only one of those games did he get a start in the game. That we have not seen him in the lineup more than once on his homestand.
Well, I would imagine if Lutz continues to put bat on ball as he has since he's gotten a big league uniform, he may earn that spot on an everyday basis.
Well, we talked about the Brewers have 3 of the top 7 average hitters in the league. Nobody's higher than the man who bats right now, Carlos Gomez. 373, 6 home runs, 14 runs batted in. The Reds shut him down last night. Ending a 14-game hitting streak, he went 0 for 4. And now the 1-1. Right back to the mound. Latos will throw him out. Brewers get 2. Reds are coming to bat. 2-0 to the Milwaukee Brewers, and the Reds lineup reads as follows. Chu, Cozart, Votto at the top, Phillips, Bruce, and Frazier in the middle, Paul, Mesoraco, Lato, Salater third, Iram, Burgos, highly touted prospect, single A, double A, triple A, an outstanding year last year, and making his 4 starts since being thrust into the Brewer rotation this year. See, that opponent's batting average is 197 through his first 3 starts on the year. First pitch swinging is Shin-Soo Choo, and he's down a strike. Burgos, 25 years old. Last outing on the first day of this month against the Pirates, threw the ball well. 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, struck out 6, but a no decision in a 6-4 loss. And 0-2 on Choo.
And he is going to bring the kitchen sink. For a guy that is only 25 years of age, he pitches like a veteran in the, I guess, in the style of Bronson Arroyo. A lot of off-speed pitches, really pitches backwards. Breaking balls, change-ups, sliders early, then goes to the fastball.
Check swing and a miss on a breaking ball, and that's 3 pitches to Fan Chu. Brewers defensively brought to you by your Ford dealers. Same group we saw last night, except of course for the change on the mound. Zach Cozart, .218 batter, 5 home runs, 17 driven in. In their strike, Cozart 1 hit in 4 at bats, knocked in a run with that hit to break a 2-2 tie in the bottom of the 4th inning last night.
Fastball inside to Cozart. I can guarantee you, Tom, everybody in the first base Reds dugout saw that pitch. And when you're a breaking ball pitcher, you've got to get something inside to keep the hitters from leaning out over the plate.
Two and two to Cozart. And a breaking ball sweeps away, running the count full.
Reds are going to have to be patient against this young breaking ball pitcher. Make him throw that breaking ball for strikes.
Straight up in the air, short left field. Braun for out number 2. Cardinals behind Adam Wainwright, working on a 3-0 shutout of Colorado. And Adam Wainwright in that game is working on a no-hitter. Some of you may have seen the note last night. Shelby Miller, the Cardinals starter, allowed a single, the very first batter of the game, and proceeded to retire 27 batters in a row. And now today, Wainwright working on a no-no in the 8th.
That's a whole lot of innings for a pretty good hitting club without getting a hit.
That one banged into right field. Turning on that pitch is Votto. So he's a 2-out base runner. Some of the news and notes around Major League Baseball. How about the Dodgers? We'll get back to them in a minute. John Lester going the distance in a 1-hitter as well. He's now 5-0. And the note on Shelby Miller. But the LA Dodgers and the LA Angels spending all of that money during the offseason. And what does it produce so far? And granted, we're only on May the 11th. The Angels are 9 games under 500. 9 games behind Texas in the American League West. The Dodgers have lost 8 in a row, and they are 7 behind Arizona in the National League West. And I would imagine in both of those towns, in both of those ball clubs, there's a lot of rumors and a lot of whispers, if not downright shouting out loud, wondering what is going on.
Los Angeles is a little shaky right now.
Breaking ball swung on and missed. 1-1 to Brandon Phillips. You know, Don Mattingly, I mean, everybody universally agrees as good a guy as you'll ever meet in your life. But when your team's playing the way they're playing,
he's the one that takes the brunt of the blow.
That's right. We understand that Adam Wainwright has just given up a single with 1 out in the 8th inning, so his no-hit bid is over. Still working on that shutout. Two and one to Brandon. National League leader, 31 runs batted in. You know, to put it in perspective, and again, you know, Votto's been getting on base a lot. Everybody knows about all the walks. But it is hard to believe that Brandon Phillips has 18 more runs batted in than Joey Votto has so far this year, and that's in just 36 games. Three-1 to Phillips. There's that breaking ball again, and he comes up empty.
Well, there is such a fine line between driving in runs and getting on base. As you see the breaking ball spinning straight over the top, that is a 12-6 curve ball. 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock, that is.
Now Votto will get started at first base with 2 outs, 3 balls, 2 strikes on Brandon. And here it is, breaking ball, and he barely got a piece of it. Boy, it must look so enticing standing there at home plate, and then the bottom falls out.
Well, the problem with trying to hit a slow breaking ball with that much depth to it, and I'm talking about the length of break from top to bottom of that breaking ball. You see a fastball, even at 88, your body moves a little bit, that front shoulder comes open, and then that slow breaking ball that's 18, 19 miles an hour slower.
There's a fastball at 89.
And Burgos will not top 90. But as we have seen with Bronson Arroyo, it's not how hard you throw it, it's when and where.
Once more, the 3-2 pitch coming on Brandon Phillips. Votto taken off at first base. And that is a foul ball. Luke Roy did everything he could to get to that thing before it trickled foul.
And for all of the Reds here today, they're facing Burgos for the first time. And you say, well, who's the advantage go to, pitcher or hitter? Well, if you're throwing strikes with quite a few different pitches, the advantage is to the pitcher. That's why it's all important for a new pitcher coming to the big leagues. You're facing guys the first time around, pump it in there.
3-2 again to Phillips, who's fouled away the last 2 offerings from Burgos. Came back with a fastball, and it's fouled out of play.
This at bat may not turn out successful for Brandon Phillips, but it will allow him to see more pitches and be a little bit more cognizant of the pitches that he'll see later in the ballgame.
Phillips called out on strikes, and that'll end the inning. A pair of strikeouts in the opening frame for Burgos. He allows a hit. We played one with the Brewers in front 2-0. Today we'll have our Miller time moment. Sellout crowd on hand here at Great American Ballpark. Had better than 33,000 despite very bad weather here last night. The Aroldis Chapman bobblehead giveaway today, and of course tomorrow, Mother's Day. We invite you to bring mom down to the ballpark. First 10,000 moms will get a tote bag. So spend part of your day with us down here at Great American Ballpark. Latter third in the batting order. Latos allowed a pair of runs in the first inning, all coming after he struck out the first batter of the game, then allowed a home run, a walk, and a double. Strike one to Ricky Weeks. He'll be followed by Betancourt and then Burgos. Pirates once again today just blistering the New York Mets. There's a fly ball in the right. Jay to his right, one away in the inning. They were deep into that ball game. They started early with the Pirates leading 11-1, and play has been halted due to rain. Of course, the Reds are going to be playing exclusively inside the National League East on this upcoming 3-city 9-day road trip that will take them to Miami to begin with on Tuesday night. After an off day on Monday, they go from there to New York, or I beg your pardon, from there to Philadelphia next weekend, and then from Philly to New York. And they have been three of the poorer pitching teams in baseball so far this year. Milwaukee, the only club with a higher ERA than Philadelphia. New York barely in front of Philly, as Betancourt is gone on strikes. And Miami basically in about the middle of the pack. Well, right now on FoxSportsOhio.com, read out Matt Latos finally got through April unscathed. See what former Bearcat Walter Stewart is up to. And of course, you can chat with Hal McCoy right now. Try out the most social second screen experience using Game Connect. It's all brought to you by 1-800-SAFE-AUTO. Drive safe, spend less. Strike one to Burgos.
I like Al McCoy's thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
I really do.
Indeed. Hall of Famer.
I'm a fan. Always have been.
Me too. Always great having him here and seeing him here. He looks great. And that's all she wrote in the second inning. 1-2-3 for Latos. Reds coming up, down 2-0. Game set with the Cubbies presented by KOI Auto Parts, and of course you can take advantage of that Reds 4 for $48 ticket offer where you get 4 view level tickets and you get 4 Reds hats for a total of $48. Where are you going to beat that? 513-381 Reds. Visit select Kroger locations, or you can always log on for tickets to reds.com/tickets.
You get a hat just for coming to the game? I'll take that.
And those view level tickets are nice tickets.
Solid. That's why they call them view level.
That's exactly right. You got a good view. So Jay Bruce to start. He'll be followed by Todd Frazier and then Xavier Paul against Iram Burgos. First time the Reds have seen this young right-hander. Breaking ball stays up and away to Jay Bruce.
This is one of those days as a Reds hitter where it's all important to be thinking about shooting the ball up the middle and the other way. You've got to keep your hands back against a soft tosser. We saw with the at bat with Brandon Phillips, he could not beat him with the fastball. Burgos could not throw the fastball by him.
That one's launched into right center field, and Jay Bruce is club number 3.
That was a long forward. Well, you'd love to see Jay get on one of those infamous hot streaks that he has, and we have seen him get on them.
That's out there by the power stacks, not too far away from that Toyota sign. And look at Frazier, bunt hit all the way. They weren't expecting that one, but that's the perfect time to do it.
That almost looked like a sacrifice bunt, and Ramirez never moved. Of course, coming off of knee surgery, maybe he wasn't ready for it. A slow breaking ball. You can see Frazier. He's already squared around. The ball's not even halfway there. He has to pull it back reload, and then put the bunt down. Thank you very much.
So a home run and a bunt to begin the Reds' second inning. They're down a run. And here's Xavier Paul at 241, a home run, 9 runs batted in. Of course, that home run knocked in 4 of the 9. That was the pinch hit grand slam the opening weekend of the season here against the Washington Nationals.
Every once in a while, you're going to see that fastball right at your hands from Burgos. He has to do that to keep you off the breaking ball. Ball went a long way to Bruce.
Sure did. That's out there by our buddy Chuck D. One of the Reds' many super fans out there. He's all fired up every night.
Chuck and Punchy.
That's right.
Punches
exactly
the air.
right.
Punch,
there they are.
Chucky.
Got that same group.
See, super fan is right.
Well, he's out here in batting practice. He'll come back behind the Reds dugout and cheer on all the troops, and then make his way out there with all his homeboys in right center field.
It's Punchy right back there in the back.
Yep. They're getting everything ready for the X-Man, Xavier Paul.
Looking for a little extra.
Two and one on Xavier Paul. Frazier being held on over there by Betancourt. Waiting a long time on Burgos to get the sign from Lucroy. And a high fly ball into left center field, chasing Braun to the track. And he missed the ball. Throw into second base, and Paul is barely safe. He's lucky to be safe. That looked like a straight whiff. You could read his lips. I couldn't see it.
I'm not sure that Xavier Paul knew what happened. He just asked Ricky Weeks what happened. Looked like he got pretty good extension on the ball. This is one of those Arizona kind of days, Tom, where the clouds they're not blue, they're not dark. They're just real light, almost the color of the baseball. Boy, you're right. Xavier Paul just did get to second base in time.
That is ruled an error on Ryan Braun, 2 base error, and the Reds now thinking a big inning. And this is a big at bat here with a pitcher on deck. This needs to be an RBI at bat for Devin Mesoraco. Second and third and nobody out. Milwaukee conceding the run back up through the middle of the infield. Reds trying to take advantage of a break. This was Tuesday night off the bench down to their final out. Mesoraco shot it to deep right center field and barely cleared the wall to tie the game. And the very next batter, Shin-Soo Choo, won it with a home run to left center.
Can't be thinking about a home run right now, though. Got to be thinking up the middle the other way.
Two and one on Devin Mesoraco. That was his first home run of this season. Getting regular playing time, Mesoraco, in the extended absence of Ryan Hannigan. But of course, that's over now. Hannigan returned last night to the active roster, had a couple of base hits. Mesoraco started all but 5 of the 17 games while Hannigan was out. Good eye there, 3 and 1.
After the first pitch that Mesoraco pulled the trigger on, he missed it by quite a margin. Burgos is thinking, well, I'll get him to swing at it again. Mesoraco not biting on the last 3.
Base open with a pitcher on deck. Frazier at third. Xavier Paul, the runner at second, with nobody out. And he didn't chase it again.
Very patient at bat, and sometimes that's what you have to do. Mesoraco hitting in that number 8 spot, as is Ryan Hanigan. Sometimes your patience is tested to the ultimate length, as in the second and third situation there.
Rick Kranitz, a Milwaukee Brewers pitching coach, under manager Ron Renicky, out for a visit. Pitcher against pitcher here with the bases loaded and nobody out. Reds down a run.
If you think about it, Tom, if you're on the mound there, there's no way you're going to let Mesoraco beat you with a base open. I don't care if there's no outs or not. You're going to try to get him to chase a pitch out of the zone. Yeah, you load the bases up for the pitcher spot, but if you can get a double play or a strikeout here, you move ahead of the game. Where's that sun coming from?
Nice.
No kidding.
Supposed to get a lot of it this upcoming week, after what has been a really rainy week. So now Latos, 2 hits and 16 at bats. One of his hits a double. In on the corners, halfway in up the middle. Ball 1. Well, now clearly the pressure is on the man on the mound.
No doubt about it. I'm trying to make Burgos throw a strike there. Now that he's gotten over the plate, look for something you can handle.
1-1 to Matt Latos. Bases loaded, none out. And it's in the dirt. Now going to 2 balls and a strike.
Latos makes contact. He can hit the ball a long way.
Well, he had 12 hits and 65 at bats last year, including a home run and 4 runs batted in. He has 3 career home runs. 2-1 on Matt Latos. And a bouncer into left field. A base hit will bring in a tying run. So Latos delivers. And now you're thinking a huge inning as we go back to the top of the order.
Fastball that ran right back over the heart of the plate. And by taking those first 2 pitches, Tom, Burgos had to be thinking, all right, I'm just going to paint down and away again. He'll take this one, and he made a mistake. He didn't make a mistake to Mesoraco, but he made a mistake right there.
Now you have Shin-Soo Choo. 3 career grand slams for Choo.
No element of surprise now for Burgos. He's got everybody for the second time.
Breaking ball missed off the outside corner. Paul Mesoraco, Latos aboard. Nobody out. 2-0. Well, he's not missing by much.
Now if you're Choo, you can keyhole this guy. Look middle in. If you don't get it, so be it.
that was not in that keyhole. That's a fastball knee high on the outside corner, and you just let it go.
That is the pitcher's pitch, down and away, and you see that pitch right on the edge of the corner.
2-1 to Chu with the bases loaded. And that went off the inside corner. The same thing applies. 3-1 is what applied on 2-0.
Now we'll find out what Mr. Burgos is made of. Bases loaded, a 3-1 count. You got a pretty good hitter standing up there.
Burgos ready. The pause and the pitch. Nowhere near the strike zone, and Chu draws the bases loaded walk, and the Reds have their first lead of the game. Still nobody out. Well, it's just such a good at bat right there by Chu. I mean, those first two pitches, a lot of guys with the bases loaded, they get so antsy, trying so hard with the bases loaded, nobody out. Takes them both off the outside corner to get ahead 2-0. Keyholes the next pitch, as you brought up. Lets it go for a strike. And eventually drawing the walk. So now it's Kozar. Not sure he was looking for a first pitch breaking ball, but that's what he chased. And now he's behind 0-2. Brandon Woolley in the second inning with a very long way to go in this one, but you've got a chance to make it a very tough day for the Brewers trying to come back against Latos with a couple of more hits here in this inning. 0-2 the count on Kozar. Doesn't chase a breaking ball this time.
This is a point for the Reds. You just made it, Tom. Matt Latos on the mound, as well as he's been throwing the baseball. Put a few runs on the board right here, and then it's all about just catching the ball, playing a little defense. You've seen the Reds in that category.
High fly ball down the left field line, playable for Braun. He's got it. Tagging and coming in to score. What a terrible decision by Braun. There is no way he's throwing the runner out at the plate. And he airmails everybody, allowing the other two runners to advance.
Hit the cutoff man. And Braun, I think, misjudged where he was on the field of play. And instead of throwing a line shot to home plate, he throws a rainbow. But Mesoraco running at third, he is faster than most catchers. He is a young catcher with good legs.
Now you got a base open, one out in the inning, runners at second and third. And Votto taps one to the right side. That'll bring in a run. And makes it 5-2.
And that was a first pitch curveball. Both Kozar and Votto swinging at first pitch curveballs.
So now the ninth man to bat in the inning in what has been a 5-run Reds second inning. Brandon Phillips on a 3-2 pitch, borderline pitch, looked at strike three, ending the opening frame.
And you would hope that extended at bat his first go round would help him here. 2 out RBIs, tough to come by.
And he got a first pitch fastball and lifts it in the air. Right field. Inning over. 9 men back, 5 of them score. Reds lead at the end of 2, 5-2. serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Cowboy, you were digging through some of the numbers today.
Just very surprised that the #1 team at home hitting is the Milwaukee Brewers, and they are #1 by a margin. They're also last by a margin on the road. Who would think that? And it's not as though they play in a bandbox at home where everything just carries out of the ballpark.
And it's not like they're playing in mile-high altitude or anything like that. That, of course, would be indicative of the Rockies seemingly forever.
Yeah, but evidently for the Brewers, they seem awfully comfortable at home and not so much on the road. First or last.
Well, they must not be pitching very well at home either, because with all that offense at home, the Brewers have already played 21 home games. First pitch swinging off the glove of Votto, and you said a minute ago, when you get a lead like this, all you got to do is pick the ball up. And that'll be an error on the Reds' first baseman, allowing the leadoff man to reach.
Well, we have seen Segura with a couple of balls that he has hit out of the ballpark that have been out over the plate. And we'll see if Matt Latos makes an adjustment. Folks talk about the power V. That's the power V that they're talking about. Look where these pitches are. All of them. Both right out over the plate. Both clobbered the other way for home runs.
And they're setting up away on the first pitch in this at bat to Segura. And it misses low with a breaking ball. Ball one.
You could really see the back arm, the right arm of Segura. Strong elbow into the rib cage, using his hips to drive the ball the other way. That's how you use your lower side.
(2-0) on Segura. Make no mistake about it, those numbers may tell you the Brewers on average have not swung the bat well on the road, but this team can still hit.
Yes, they can.
You start giving them 4 outs in an inning,
they'll hurt you.
They can hurt you, especially here at the top of the order. Back to the mound. Who's there? Phillips. And that's a double. No, they called him safe at first.
I thought Latos did a good job getting rid of the baseball quickly. He actually threw the ball over the bag. Phillips had to get to the bag to get the ball. You could see that fastball run right in on the knuckles. Segura just hustling all the way down the line. He's safe.
So a good call down there by Dan Iassogna. Of course, the umpires have very much been under the hot lights here on a number of calls that have been made this week. The replay call involving the Athletics and the Cleveland Indians, and then the just flat out not knowing the rule of the situation the other night with the Houston Astros bringing in a reliever who never threw a pitch to a batter, when the rules have said forever and a day that barring an injury or sickness, if a pitcher is brought in from the bullpen, he has to face one batter. You know, really, it's too bad for the rest of the umpires who, you know, day in and day out, I think all of us agree, do an outstanding job. That's a missile into left field. And then it kicks away from Xavier Paul, and scoring all the way from first is Segura. RBI double by Vaughn, and here come the Brewers. A leadoff error by Votto, allowing a man to reach base, and it comes home to score.
Talk about the little things in the game. The error at first base, and then not turning a double play on a ball hit right back to the pitcher. You get a guy like Braun coming to the plate. He's just a tough hitter, regardless of how well you've done against him. As we said earlier, that's only the second hit he has against Latos ever. But he is a tough hitter.
So a 5-3 ball game, and now the tying run comes to the plate. It's Ramos Ramirez. He doubled off the left field wall to drive in a run in the first inning.
Brewers are not going to go away. The Reds just have to keep pumping and keep getting after it.
Oh, 2.
Well, Ramirez really pulling off the ball. He looks like he's trying to hit every pitch out of the ballpark. Pulled out of the ballpark. It's not normally his game.
Oh, and 2 on Aramis Ramirez. Braun at second base with 1 out. And it's off the outside corner. Cardinals finish off Colorado 3-0 the final there. So back-to-back shutouts of the Rockies by Cardinal pitching. It would be impossible to believe the Cardinals starting pitching could be any better than it has been so far this year. By far and away the lowest starting rotation ERA in Major League Baseball. Barely over 2 runs per 9 innings from their starters. 2-2 now to Ramirez. Of course, there's 2 ways of looking at that. Glass half full. We have the best starting pitching in the league, and we're going to dominate people all year long. Glass half empty. How much longer can this really last?
Got a lot of young arms on that club. No Chris Carpenter. No Jason Mott, their closer at the end of the game.
Their starters have a win-loss record of 21-7.
Well, a lot has gone right for the Cardinals here out of the gate. They have hit well and they have pitched well.
Runner takes off for third, and a base hit will drive in another run. And all of a sudden that 5-2 lead is down to 5-4.
Had Ramirez 0-2 and continued with the breaking ball away, and Ramirez just finally caught one.
Now Jonathan Lucroy. You know, we talked about how great the Reds starting pitching was for nearly 4 weeks. But now all of a sudden the starters are having their problems. I mean, last night the Reds pitchers only gave up 3 runs, talking about the entire staff. There's a roller down to Frazier, and they will not turn the double play. A ball so weakly hit. But Reds pitchers now in 8 consecutive games have allowed at least 4 runs in a game.
Well, I think that in the grand scheme of things, the Reds pitching staff is going to be right at the top of the contenders in the National League. I think when everything is said and done, this is going to be one of the better staffs in the game of baseball. And every staff has their bumps in the road and ons and offs. But I truly believe that when it's all said and done, the Reds are going to pitch. Where they're going to go is how much they're going to hit, because we know they can catch the baseball. Goodness gracious, they can catch it as good as anybody I've seen.
1-0 to Gomez, and that is taken off the outside corner. 2 balls and no strikes. This inning began on a routine ground ball to Joey Votto that turned into an error. Reds then could not turn a double play on a comebacker to the mound. We're on a double to knock in a run. Ramirez is single to drive in a run. 2 away, 1 on. And that one blistered down to left field line. This might tie the game. Lucroy on his way to third. They're going to hold him there. Boy, they are hitting some balls hard off Matt Latos here today.
See the breaking ball there. That looked like a cut fastball from Latos, either that or a spinning slider. But Matt has either gone all in or all away. It hasn't been a whole lot of combination of in, out, in, out. And against this kind of club, you can't stay on one side of the plate. Too good of hitters.
This could be a very, very big at bat in this ball game. Granted, we're only in the third inning. But Latos has got to stop the bleeding right here and right now. His team just scored 5 runs for him to give him a 3-run lead. That lead is now down to 1. And the Brewers have runners at second and third with 2 away.
And it's just the swing of momentum. Got a packed house here today, boy.
Ricky Weeks a batter. He flied out to Bruce his first time up. And a bouncing ball to short. Kozak will throw him out and the inning is over. Brewers get 2 and trail by a run. Ohio brought to you by Toyota. See your Toyota dealer or visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by JTM Food Group. Let's create great dishes together. Right along the banks of the Ohio River. And a jam-packed crowd, sellout crowd on hand here today at Great American Ballpark. And a lot of runs very early. We've only played 2.5 innings. 5 runs, 4 hits for the Reds. 4 runs, 5 hits for Milwaukee. Reds sent 9 men to the plate, scoring those 5 runs in the second inning. And the scoring started on a home run by Jay Bruce. He will lead things off again 1 inning later. Strike 1. A ball and a strike. Jay Bruce. He unloaded on this one.
That was supposed to be a fastball in. It ended up a fastball. I don't even know if I could say it's right down the middle.
That ball launched into right field over the head of Aoki. And Bruce will leg it out. That'll be a double. So a home run and a double his first 2 times up today for Jay Bruce.
This ball is actually right on the inside corner. Performance Honda swing by Jay Bruce. That's the ball that he's had difficulty getting to against right-handers. He has handled the ball that's been out over the plate. It's the ball in that he's pulled foul and allowed him to get him out away.
Slow breaking ball, and Frazier way out in front. He surprised everybody after the Bruce home run his last time up by bunting for a hit up the third base line.
After what we've seen from the Brewers with their bats, you want to keep playing out-on baseball. Score every chance you get. This would qualify.
A ball and a strike.
Burgos starting to go to the changeup now for his secondary pitch instead of the curveball and slider. Frazier really trying to wink back. Get something out over the plate he can put the barrel of the bat to.
That one hooked into left field, and this will be a base hit, and this will be a RBI for Todd Frazier. Coming into second. Here comes a throw, and he's sliding in there with a double.
Well, the second time around, this Reds order for Iram Burgos has proved a little difficult. The breaking ball that looked so good the first time around for Burgos, having a little difficulty with it now.
Well, it's good to see Frazier and Bruce off to good starts here today. Bruce with a home run and a double. He's hit the ball very hard. Frazier the bunt hit, now a double down the left field line to knock him in.
You know, and folks at home, Tom, some may be saying, well, it's only one game, it's only a couple of at-bats. That's all it takes to get you back going in the right direction. More times than not, at this level, it's up here. How you think of yourself. When you're confident, you got it going on.
Well, no action in the Milwaukee bullpen. Both of these teams did not get much from their starters in the game last night. Tony Cingrani lasting 4 innings. Giovanni Gallardo lasting 4 innings. Walked 5 batters. So a lot of bullpen used by both teams here last night. 2-0 on Xavier Paul. Started 2 and takes a strike on the inside corner. Two and 2.
Came with a fastball inside at 2-0. Starts the breaking ball in the same exact spot. And Paul swings over the top of it. You got to at least get the runner to third base with 2 strikes.
Skies continue to really start to clear up for the first time in a number of days. More and more blue skies, more and more sunshine than we've had during what has been a very rainy week. Breaking ball down and in. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Xavier Paul.
I mean, it's downright gorgeous out there right now.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
More the same tomorrow for Mother's Day. It's supposed to be just a beautiful, bright, sunny day. Still a little on the cool side. But again, the Reds and the Brewers will wrap up this series and this homestand tomorrow at 1:10 on Mother's Day. So we invite you to come on down to the ballpark.
It's only right for Mother Nature to be kind on Mother's Day.
No doubt about that. Three and two on Paul with Frazier at second base and none out here in the Reds' third inning. And there's ball four. Well, the Reds have had more good at-bats today than they have had seemingly in one game in a long time. Well, you know the drill. For Red hits a home run off that Toyota sign in right center field. Jay Bruce almost did it already today. Lou Locke of Cincinnati will win the beautiful new Tundra out there in deep left center field. And why not register for your chance to win it? Just stop by your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealer. So now Mesoraco bats with 2 on and nobody out. Last time he did, but there were runners at second and third, and they weren't going to give him anything to hit. They walked him.
And the way Burgos is pitching now, he is trying to make the perfect pitch on every pitch. And that is a spot that a lot of young pitchers fall into when you start getting hit. The Reds have no reason to cheat on the fastball. This kid's only throwing the ball 85 miles an hour.
Well, in every single at bat, I mean, even the borderline pitches, the Reds hitters appear to be seeing the ball very well now. This is the second time through the batting order.
And I thought they did that yesterday against Gallardo. They drew some walks, were able to put runners aboard. You're not going to have an awesome offensive day every day.
Three and one on Mesoraco. Well, the Reds, you know, they played 36 games. If you take away 6 where they just had big blowout games and scored a pile of runs, in the other 30 games, they are averaging right at 3 runs per game. And a lot of times in those games, Cowboy, and you and I have been here for a lot of them, I mean, it's 1 or 2 pitch at bats. For more than 1 or 2 times through the batting order. 3 and 1, and Mesoraco came out of his shoes and missed that ball. Full count on the Reds catcher.
Change up. Away. You see it as a fastball if it's delivered in the proper fashion. And that pitch was exactly that. Good release, good speed.
3-2 pitch. And that ball driven into right center field. His baby is headed for the wall. Frazier will score. Paul being held at third on a double by Mesoraco to make it a 7-4 lead.
Well, this is a great job of hitting right here by Mesoraco. Instead of pulling off the pitch as he did before, he stays back long enough and just puts the hands to the ball. You can see his hands stay back, even though his hips started to open a little bit. Shows you how strong Mesoraco is, able to drive the ball into that gap the other way with just hands and hips.
5th double, 9th run batted in for Mesoraco, and much like the last inning, the Reds have a chance to put up some big-time crooked numbers here in the 3rd. They got 5 of them in the 2nd. 2 and still batting with nobody out, 2nd and 3rd here in the 3rd. Latos against a drawn-in third baseman at a run-scoring single. His first time up, and now he's having a conversation with Chris Spire.
3 doubles and a walk in the inning. No outs.
Latos had base hit and RBI, his first run batted in so far this season, and now a real good chance to get another. Ball 1. We brought up the short outing by Gallardo last night. There is not a soul loosening in the Brewers bullpen right now.
Well, with only 69 pitches, this being the 70th, Young Iram Burgos is going to be out there, I would imagine, until he gets around that 100 mark, unless the whole offense starts to reach base. Sometimes you've got to suck it up for the team.
1-1 on Latos, infield in. And a roller back up through the middle and into center field, a base hit. That will plate Xavier Paul. On to third goes Mesoraco, and Latos has knocked in 2 runs today. Why not smile about it?
Good job by Matt Latos making contact, trying to shoot the ball back up the box. But for the life of me, I can't believe that Segura did not dive to try to stop this ball. If you're standing on third base and you're Xavier Paul, he had not moved until the ball went by. You're making the ball go through the infield. Got to leave your feet there.
Pretty animated conversation, and not conversation, one-way conversation. Rick Kranitz to his youngster Burgos out there on the mound. I would imagine it's a lot more pepping him up to say, now come on, you know, we got to get through this thing. You're out there. I know it's not easy. I know it's rough. It's been 2 very bad innings, but we've got to continue to plow forward.
Well, this was an encouragement conversation for Burgos. Let's go back to getting ahead, get your breaking ball over the plate for a strike. You try to simplify it as much as you can for the pitcher that's on the mound. Because right now his head is spinning.
Reds have scored 8 runs on 8 hits. They have them on the corners with nobody out. And Chu looking for the downs on that cut.
I have no problem with this swing right here. You're looking for a pitch you can hammer on the first pitch. Go for it.
Turns on that one into the corner, and another extra base hit. Chu on his way to second. Scoring Mesoraco. Latos on to third. It is 9-4 Reds.
Fourth double of the inning for Reds hitters.
Still nobody out. 6 straight Reds have reached base to begin this bottom of the third. Cozart looks at a fastball strike. He had a sac fly. Run batted in his last time up. Infield in. Latos at third. Chu at second. And a fly ball to center. Gomez prepares for the throw. Here comes Latos. Here comes the throw, and it's over the catcher's head. Well, allowing the runner to go second and third.
That is twice today that we have seen a Brewer outfielder throw the ball straight up to the sky trying to get a runner at home plate. Technique great on coming in to get the baseball. The line of the throw, anything but.
Infield going to stay in with Joey Votto batting. Runner at third, 1 out, 5 runs home for a second straight inning. Votto a single to right field in the first inning, bounced out, driving in a run. And he has looked at back-to-back pitches right down the can. And behind 0-2. Off the glove of the pitcher and into right field, a base hit for Votto. And he will slam on the brakes. An RBI single for Joey, scoring Chu. 5 runs in the second inning. 6 runs and still batting here in the third.
Well, Iram Burgos has got to be wondering, why me? Why me? I put my glove out to try to make a play, and I slap it into right field. Ricky Weeks was standing there ready to catch the baseball, but the ricochet allows Votto not only to reach, but the run to score from third.
And still no action in the Brewer bullpen.
This is a very difficult decision for Rick Kranitz and Ron Renicky. Renicky the manager, Kranitz the pitching coach.
Burgos has allowed as many runs in this third inning as he had allowed in his 3 prior starts combined. (11-4) the Reds lead it. Here's Phillips. It's a ball and a strike. Brandon 0 for 2 today. Here the Reds have 11 runs in the game. Over the last 2 innings they've scored 11, and Phillips the team leader in runs batted in without an RBI. In the air, short right. 2 out. Jay Bruce is batting in an inning for the second time in this inning, and the third time in the last 2 innings. That's when you know things are going pretty good.
Now this is when there's a fight at the bat rack. That's mine. No, you're not in the game, but I want to play. Everybody wants to get in on this action.
Bruce, a home run and a double to right, has scored a pair of runs. Whereas that's one of the old, sort of cliches in baseball, but the late great Richie Ashburn used to say it all the time. He'd go in to play the Phillies. He was announcing the Phillies, and he'd say to you, "Hey, did you hear about the fight that broke out in our dugout?" And you'd say, "What are you talking about?" If it's the first time you've never heard it. But even if you've heard it 100 times, you don't say, "No, I didn't hear about it." All our guys were fighting one another to get in the lineup against that stiff you're putting on the mound. One and two to count. Well, finally now activity in the bullpen. Burke Badenhop been around a while. Begins to throw. Off the outside corner, 2-2. 5 in the second, 6 runs here in the third. Kind enough to join us coming up in the top half of the 4th inning. Actor you've seen his work for a long time. Emilio Estevez. That ball in the air to left center. And this one will go to the wall. Rounding third and scoring is Votto. Bruce with his 3rd hit. A home run and a pair of doubles. And it is 12-4 Reds.
Wow. This is a curveball that stays up and out over the plate. And Jay keeps the hands back, keeps that front hip closed, even after pulling the ball out of the ballpark his first at bat. A rip shot into right center for a double his 2nd time up, and able to stay back long enough to slap this baby the other way. It's good hitting today.
12 runs in an inning and 2/3. There were times on the last road trip you wondered if the Reds would score 12 runs on it. Segura cuts it loose, inning over. A 7-run 3rd inning. They stand and cheer. The big lumber breaking out today. AT&T trivia question. Since 1900, these are the ones, Cowboy, we have no chance. Who has turned the most double plays as a second baseman for the Reds since 1900? How you looking on these?
I need three answers, and let me stab in the dark there. Otherwise, I'm toast.
Well, it's a pleasure to be joined. First time we've ever had a chance to meet Emilio Estevez. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
What brings you to town?
Well, I'm here scouting a film that I'm going to be making later in the year.
Here in Cincinnati?
Yeah.
What's it about?
It's a sports film, and it's set in the world of competitive harness racing. So I'm here in the horse sort of capital of America, really.
Yes, you are.
Indeed.
Well, we've seen your work, and it's been such unbelievable work for a long, long time. Your entire family is such an unbelievably gifted, talented family. We met your dad here when your brother Charlie Sheen brought your dad in. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, it was his 70th birthday last year. And he surprised your dad by bringing him in here. Is that right?
He's maybe a little bit older.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he said it was his 70th birthday, so I took him at his word. But, when we were talking to Charlie, and he had met the Reds, he's a big Reds fan. We saw him in California. And he was talking about growing up, and he was a real big baseball fan. Now, did you grow up a big baseball fan as well?
I didn't know. He really carried that sport, and he had a heck of an arm. And I think for a while we even thought he was going to go pro.
Really?
And he decided to slum up with the rest of the actors in the family.
So he could sling the rock a little bit, huh?
Oh, yeah. No, he's got a real arm.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's good to know.
And you can see that in Major League. You see he's throwing the ball. He doesn't have a double doing it for him.
No. There's a ground ball back up through the middle. Cozart, can he throw him out? Oh, my goodness, what a play. What a play. Last night it was Brandon Phillips, and now his double play mate turns in a beauty here.
Speaking of films, the Reds put out a highlight reel on the defensive side seemingly every day. Wow.
Yeah. Tough day to be a Milwaukee fan today.
Yeah.
Yes,
wow.
It is.
Tough day to be Iram Burgos.
Now, did you spend any of your childhood in Dayton, Ohio?
I didn't know.
You didn't? Okay.
As a baby, my parents they got evicted a lot, let's say, back in New York, and oftentimes my dad would take my mom and I to go live with his dad out in Dayton. But I was an infant at that time, so that's my only real time in Ohio, with the exception of this trip.
Now, when you were talking about your brother and not having a double to throw. Now, I would imagine are you playing the role of what? As a harness jockey?
Yeah, they call them drivers.
Okay. Are you having to learn how to do this?
I am. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
have what's called a provisional license that will allow me to run these races, to drive in them. Of course, I'm going to lose every one I'm in.
I got you.
But not in the movie. In the movie, of course, I'll win.
Of course. Is it scary?
You know what? I'm real comfortable around horses. I did a couple of films called Young Guns, and so I love riding. I love the animals, and the idea of doing a horse film is something that's always really appealing to me.
So you're hoping to start it is going to be primarily in Cincinnati, or also northern Kentucky and the whole region?
That's right. We're in a little bit in the Red Mile in Kentucky. Most of the film shoots in Lebanon, and then the finale takes place at the Hambletonian in the Meadowlands.
Well, look, we wish you all the best, and I know you're going to be here around. Come back and see us again.
I will.
Love to see
This is great. In fact, there's a scene in the film where the character goes out and throws the ceremonial first pitch.
Well,
so I'll be back here to do that.
We'll come back and see you.
Thank you, man.
Emilio,
it's
a real pleasure to meet you.
Nice to see you, man.
Thank you.
Enough to
Work on that arm.
Broadcast booth. Reds lead after 3.5. It is a 12-4 game. trivia question. I mean, if you're talking about second baseman, don't you have to go Joe Morgan? I mean, we were kidding around about 1900, but doesn't it have to be Joe Morgan?
Well,
Joe Morgan.
I don't know. I don't know if it's Joe or not.
Well,
it is Joe.
It is Joe. I mean, you think about all the great years he had here, and of course the unbelievable double play combo at shortstop all those years with Davey Concepcion. But Brandon Phillips, it won't be long before his name will sit atop that list, especially when you turn in plays like this.
This may be one of the most incredible plays I've ever seen, especially with two guys running together at the second base bag. Phillips fields that not only barehanded but blind to first base and still makes an accurate throw.
They should have given him 3 double plays turned for that one.
3 outs.
Yeah. New pitcher on the mound taking over for Burgos. Burgos did bat in the top of the 4th inning, but his day is over, and Burke Badenhop, his 17th game.
We have seen Badenhop in a Marlins uniform before. The Reds just take right off where they left off with Burgos.
Xavier Paul, 3rd time he's been on base today, reached on an error, a walk, and now a base hit. That Ohio Lottery Powerball jackpot is now worth $270 million.
It's jumped quite a bit overnight.
11 p.m. the drawing tonight. Will we have a winner?
The Reds can be assured of one thing: Badenhop's throwing strikes. He only has 1 walk, and now his 17th outing.
Well, you don't need to check your eyes when you look at that 12 spot for the Reds, and we're only in the 4th inning. That is the story. This Reds offense has all of a sudden just exploded today against Iram Burgos, as Mesoraco chases a ball way outside, and he's gone on strikes. 1 out here in the 4th inning.
I think the big key now, Tom, is to get the man that's coming to the plate back in the groove on the mound. You get a 3 up, 3 down 4th. You've got an 8-run lead. You get him back in the groove. You save your bullpen, and you keep right on along with this guy.
Boy, he had a nice quick 1-2-3 inning the top half of this 4th, and he needed it.
Matt had squared around to bunt the initial time Badenhop came to the plate. Chris Spire, the 3rd base coach, quickly getting his attention, going back through the signs. With an 8-run lead, you just swing away.
They appeal. He did not go around. 1-2 on Matt Latos. 12 hits for the Reds, 6 of them for extra bases, 1 home run, 5 doubles. And all 5 doubles came in that 7-run 3rd inning.
And you look down at Matt Latos' line, not at the pitching line, but the batting line. Got 2 singles, 2 RBIs.
Latos out of there on strikes, and they're 2 away in the inning.
couple of pretty good breaking balls there from Berg Badenhop. Got Mesoraco. It's Latos. Got a little tougher job here with Shin-Soo Choo.
Choo has struck out, drawn a bases loaded walk for his 16th run batted in on the year, and then had a double and scored a run in the 3rd inning. And a roller down to Betancourt, and that'll take care of the Reds in the 4th. They might be tired. They scored 12.
Here on Fox Sports Ohio, Jim Day with you. Let's give you a couple of injury updates. All signs are good right now for Johnny Cueto. He continues to throw on the side. He pitched Thursday in Dayton, and he's going to pitch on his regular 4 days rest. He's going to make another rehab start, at least one in the minor leagues. The Reds have not announced where that will be due to the schedule of where their minor league teams are. We're assuming it's going to be in Dayton. There's nothing official on that. Also, Chris Heisey will leave on a rehab stint tomorrow. He will go to AA Pensacola, and his return will be imminent. So, boys in the booth, the Reds have that proverbial good problem to have. When Heisey comes back, it's going to be a very, very tough decision. Derek Robinson, a switch hitter, brings speed to the club that they don't have. And Donald Lutz, 5 straight games with a hit. Who goes when Heisey comes back? A big decision.
Big decisions indeed. And I'll tell you what, Jim Day, I am glad that I don't have to make. I know you feel the same way as well, Cowboy.
Well, this is the, as Jim said, a good problem to have. But it's also the issue that you run into when you start bringing guys from your minor league system to the big leagues. You never know what you're going to get until a guy puts on a big league uniform. And Donald Lutz, he's come up here and did exactly what we saw in spring training, and that is play good left field and hit the ball with the bat.
That hit the runner. Well, they're saying it was foul before it hit him. Lutz has only made 2 starts since he was brought up, and he's been around a while. I mean, it seems like just yesterday he was brought up, but he came up on the 29th of April. That's almost 2 weeks ago, and only 2 times has his name been on the lineup card. Coming in this time on Segura, and he swings and fouls it off.
You could see in that replay where Segura had his back foot in the batter's box as contact made by the ball with that front shoulder. As you said, Tom, rule of foul ball as long as you're in the batter's box when you make contact with the ball. Oh, that was close.
Very close.
And only Frazier, standing right there on the line, could make that decision. To that home run out of right field earlier, Latos has really come inside on Segura. Last time he hit the ball so softly and broke his bat back to the pitcher that the Reds couldn't turn the double play.
A little bit low, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Segura. One to follow, and then Aramis Ramirez. Latos has struck out 4, and that one missed away to even the count. Reds and the Brewers tie a ribbon around this homestand and this series tomorrow. Bronson Arroyo against right-hander Willie Peralta. Line drive center field. Boy, he's a good-looking young hitter, isn't he?
There is no doubt he can handle the ball that is out over the plate. That's exactly where this breaking ball ends up. Middle away, but it stayed up. Segura stayed right on it. Line drive in the center.
So now Ryan Braun, he walked and scored in the first inning, knocked in a run with a double, and scored in the third. Latos about to deliver his 70th pitch of the game. We're 1 out into the top of the 5th inning. High fly ball. Playable this time for Jay Bruce. 2 out.
I am stunned by the carry of the ball today. It seems like every time an outfielder sets for the baseball, they drift another good 5 to 10 feet back, as we saw Jay there. And Jay doesn't make mistakes on balls in the air. He's usually right on the money.
One out, 1 on, and now the batter, the cleanup hitter and third baseman Aramis Ramirez. A pair of hits and a pair of runs batted in for Ramirez. That is something this guy has done regularly throughout what has been just a really good, and when all is said and done, could be a Hall of Fame career. Showing no signs of slowing down. He had one of his better seasons ever last year. 28 hits away from 2,000. 33 runs away from 1,000 of those. 7 home runs away from 350. And he almost has 450 doubles to go along with better than 1,200 runs batted in. I know that's a lot of numbers, but when you start putting all those numbers together on one resume, and you throw in another at least 2 if not 3 really productive seasons ahead for Ramirez, good Lord willing, he stays healthy. I mean, there aren't going to be many third basemen in the Hall of Fame that have a lot better numbers than Aramis Ramirez is going to have.
He has always been an awfully good hitter with runners on base, as we talked about in yesterday's game and the beginning of this game. Where people miss this guy is in the doubles category, because he racks up boatloads of doubles.
Some of the Ramos Ramirez detractors out there, and there are detractors out there that
there's detractors for everybody.
That's right. That he's never a guy that's been able to carry a team offensively. Back when Sammy Sosa went down with the Cubs, and they really needed Ramirez to be the guy, it didn't work out that way. There are times when he has played with, for lack of a better word, or at least the interpretation to some, is he's drawn a walk, maybe some indifference in the field at times, and running the bases. But the numbers are what they are. Make your reservation today for the Front Gate Outdoor Luxury Suite just to our left here at the ballpark. All-inclusive food and beverage packages available, flat panel TVs, great furnishings thanks to Front Gate. Holds from anywhere 30 to 48 people. Great spot. Reserve yours today. 513-765-7600. Ramirez will be taken out of the game. One-time Red shortstop Alex Gonzalez will take over for him.
Gonzalez had been playing first for this ball club, with Betancourt playing third when Ramirez was on the disabled list. But because of Betancourt's ability to hit the baseball, he has supplanted Gonzalez at first base.
But today continues to be a struggle for Latos. Just one of those days.
And I think if you look all the way back to the second batter of the ball game, and this is after striking out Norichika Aoki to open the game, it seemed like the home run by Segura the other way got Matt a little bit out of his game. A walk and a double. After that, he seemed to be able to pick it up a little bit.
I think even inside that walk to Braun, I think he felt like he had struck out Braun on a couple of pitches that didn't go his way. So that even added further fuel after the home run he gave up.
And it's not just the expending of physical energy on the mound, it is the expending of emotional energy on the mound. You see how close that pitch appeared to be on the plate, but yet it was well off.
3-1 on Lucroy. Reds with an 8-run lead. We're in the 5th inning. And this game nearly 2 hours young, and we're only in the 5th inning. 3-1 delivery. Back-to-back walks with an 8-run lead to load the bases.
Brian Price going to come out of the Reds dugout and try to give Matt a breather here. We can see Latos with some laboring in the mechanical area. This is a point where we talk about so many ball games where you have starts where 7 or 8 starts you're going to have your A game. A lot of starts you're just going to be okay, and there are going to be that handful of starts where you have nothing. You can't find the strike zone. Things are not going your way, and those are the points in time where you really have to battle on the mound. You aim left, it goes right. You aim down, it ends up. We know that Carlos Gomez can put the Brewers right back in this game with one swing of the bat.
No two ways about that. Gomez has 6 home runs already this year. He doubled off Latos his last time up. And they are loaded with 1 out. And Latos will work out of the stretch. And here it comes. Ground ball back up the middle. And into center field, 2 runs are going to score, making it 12-6.
This is a couple of days for Dusty Baker where awfully uneasy in the dugout. Got your starters on the mound and expectations are at one level. but yet the performance is at a whole different one. You just got to keep battling if you're Matt Latos. Figure out a way to get an out. A double play would be awfully nice right here.
Weeks was a very big out for Latos in the 3rd inning. After the Brewers had gotten the lead down to 5-4, he retired Weeks on the final out on the ground ball to Kozar. Only one batter retired in this inning by Latos. And the Reds are going to have to get their bullpen busy, and just now they do. Logan Ondrusik beginning to throw. Latos given an 8-run lead. And trying to get through 5 just to qualify for a win. Brewers scored 2 in the 1st, 2 in the 3rd, 2 and still batting with runners on the corners and 1 out here in the 5th. Double play ball if they can turn it. They do, and that'll end the inning. Couple of runs for the Brewers. Reds will bat in the bottom half of the 5th inning, leading 12-6. Game Reds Live. It is brought to you by Ray St. Clair Roofing. We'll get you ready for every single game. And of course, after the game, we also call it Reds Live here on Fox Sports Ohio. Brought to you by Kings Honda in the Kings Auto Mall. Visit KingsHondaUSA.com. Alex Gonzalez remaining in a game to play first base after running for Aramis Ramirez. Ramirez out and Betancourt taking over at third. As Cowboy mentioned, this was the corner infield for the Brewers during that 3+ weeks on the disabled list for Aramis Ramirez. Burke Baden up his 2nd inning of work, and Kozar lines it into center. Gomez nearly came in too far, had to leap into the air to get it. 1 out.
You can see Gomez break in right away, and that ball almost carried over his head, and that would have been off to the races for Zach Kozar. Brewers playing Votto and Bruce almost in identical fashion, with a lone infielder on the left side being Betancourt. Everyone else playing to pull. All these three infielders on the right side.
A play by Votto, who today has 2 hits, 1 RBI, 2 RBIs, I beg your pardon. One of them came on a ground out, the other on a single. He has scored a run.
And we see Joey Votto hit the ball to left or to left center quite often, but very rarely does he hit the ball on the ground to the left side. If he hits the ball on the ground, it's usually up the middle or to the right side, hence the positioning of the infield.
Base head pitch away from him. Out on strikes Votto. 2 away here in the 5th. 3 strikeouts for Badenhop out of the bullpen. Brandon 0 for 3 is struck out looking, and twice is flying out to Aoki in right field. Cardinals won their game already today, so the Reds just trying to keep pace with the red hot National League Central Division leading Redbirds. Beginning play 3 back today. Cardinals getting a 1-hitter from Adam Wainwright in a 3-0 blanking. Back-to-back shutouts by Cardinal pitching. Shelby Miller last night and Adam Wainwright today. Swung on and fouled out of play. Pirates also won. They're a half game behind the Reds for second place in the Central, pounding the Mets 11-2.
Score double-digit runs this day and age, you're doing something, and I don't care who it's against. You look up on the Reds scoreboard with the 5 and a 7 in the second and the third. That's some ugly numbers.
No doubt about it.
If you're a Milwaukee Brewer, that is rough looking at that. But it's awfully fun for a Reds fan.
2-2 on Brandon. Full count.
This is the times in a ball game you don't want to give away at bats.
Strike 3 called. Second time. Phillips has been rung up by Brian Knight. The second time Phillips disagrees with it. Reds gone in order for the first time today. We move to the 6th. Reds lead by 6. Family Catch Sunday, July the 7th. Boy, it's a great opportunity to play catch on the field after the Reds and the Mariners get together. You also get 2 authentic batting practice shoes, baseballs, 2 commemorative certificates. Visit Reds.com/catch to sign up, and all proceeds benefit the Reds Community Fund. It's always a lot of fun. Well, they're playing that Beach Boys music, Cowboy. We know summer's right around the corner. And they're going to be here.
Coming to town.
At Great American Ballpark, the Beach Boys are coming to town.
Live and in concert.
And you buy a ticket to the ball game and you get to hang around after the game for the concert. That is on the next Reds homestand. Sunday, May the 26th. That next homestand is a weird homestand. I say weird. It's 5 games. When's the last time you saw a 5-game homestand? Seen 3.
Seen 6.
Yep. Seen 4.
Not 5.
That's when the Reds are playing the Cubs over a weekend, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then this year, with the changes in the schedule and there being an interleague series every day over the course of a season, the Reds will play the Indians 4 days in a row. Monday, Tuesday here, Wednesday, Thursday in Cleveland.
That's a pretty good pitch right there.
2-2 to Betancourt. And a foul ball over the screen and out of play.
Well, the Reds would love nothing more than to get a quick 3-up, 3-down inning here from Matt Latos. Let him exit this ball game on a good note.
Well, that'll take care of Betancourt to begin the inning.
That looked like such a simple play as the ball came off the bat to Kozar, but that ball was right in the teeth of the sun as he made that catch. Wow. Watch the face of Kozar. Oh. That's one of those balls you put your glove up on and it hits you right in the face.
Martin Maldonado comes up to bat for Badenhop. He gave him 2 solid innings out of the bullpen, 1 hit, no runs. Badenhop struck out 4 of the 7 batters he faced.
Hey, they like the defense, the Brewers do, of this young Martin Maldonado behind home plate. There's actually been a little talk over in Brewers camp of moving Jonathan LaCroix every once in a while to first base. Keep his bat in the lineup. And if you're Maldonado, the only way you force that issue is stinging the baseball with the bat. You can hit your way into the lineup.
Latos still throwing hard. I mean, he's at the 95 pitch mark. We know he's a big, strong guy in excess of 235 pounds, 6 feet 6 inches tall. There's plenty of fuel in the tank. And there's another pitch he can't believe it. Boy, he's really upset. That's the exact same pitch he did not get against Ryan Braun in the first inning.
Well, the problem that you have with that pitch, at 0-2, your catcher is setting up off the plate because that's really where you want the ball. You do want the ball in the spot that Latos put it in. But if your catcher is off the plate and the umpire sees that and he reaches back towards the plate, probably not going to get the call.
Jam shot pop up into the glove of Votto, and first two set down here in the Milwaukee sixth inning. Now Aoki on base 5 times last night, only once today, and that was on a Joey Votto error. That was to lead off the third inning, an inning where the Brewers wound up scoring a couple of times off Latos.
You've got to believe that Latos has accomplished one of his goals today, and that was keeping Aoki off base.
Well, not this time.
Nope.
12-7 game, and we're still a long way from being wrapped up here today. We're only in the sixth inning.
Fastball, four-seam fastball. Splits the plate in half, belt high. That's where those usually go to die.
4 home runs and now 8 runs batted in on the year for Aoki. And now Segura. Seems like this guy's been to the plate 15 times today. Segura. All of his at bats have been extended at bats. Scored 3 runs in the game. Has hit a home run also with a single. And ahead in the count, 2-0.
Even on the ball that Segura hit back to the mound on the jam shot, he was hustling so much down the line, he beat out the double play, and then was a run score later in that inning.
Two and two on Segura, and Latos working quickly, and there's a ground ball. Latos doesn't cover the bag. Holy mackerel.
It has been one of those days for Matt Latos. Well, there is nowhere to go and hide on a play like this. When you don't cover, everybody's looking at you.
I'm sure for Latos, where that ball came off the bat, and Cowboy, all you pitchers sort of have that geography, for lack of a better word, in your mind. When that ball left the bat, it looked like a routine ground ball to Brandon Phillips.
It did.
Now, again, I'm not making excuses for Latos,
No.
but even looking at that replay, I mean, that looked like a ball that Latos is saying, okay, Phillips to Votto, inning over.
And on a normal infield, that's probably what would have happened. But when you've got guys with range like Phillips and Votto, where they go to get balls that are normally out of the range of most first and second basemen, any ball hit to the right side, you better be at first base.
We brought up the at-bat at the time in a 1-run game to Ricky Weeks in the third inning about how certain at-bats can really shift the momentum in a game. And this is another one of those at-bats, even with the Brewers down by 5. Runner steals second base. Braun did not go around. If Braun finds one in the seats, it's a 3-run game with 3 innings to go.
And who would have ever believed that, with the Reds putting 12 on the board and Latos on the mound.
Instead, it's on the ground to Frazier, so Latos takes care of Braun, and the inning is over. That'll be the final inning, I'm sure, for Latos today. Reds lead 12-7.
One heck of an afternoon. 12 runs on the board for the day. Your Nissan drives of the game. And there have been a plenty for Jay Bruce. A home run and 2 doubles. 3 at-bats. 2 innings. Second and third. Bruce came to the plate 3 times. Homered the first time. Doubled and scored in the third. His first at-bat. Doubled in his third at-bat.
And by the way, getting 2 doubles in 1 inning. First time a Red has done that since the mayor, Sean Casey, back on August 7th, 1998, against the Milwaukee Brewers. In fact, the Brewers have been on the short end of the last Reds player to get 2 hits in an inning. Any kind of hits in an inning. Drew Stubbs did that against the Milwaukee Brewers on April 25th, 2011. So it's something about the Brewers, I reckon.
Hey, they're in the division. You got to beat them. Michael Gonzalez on the mound. Saw him in last night's game, and now Jay Bruce sees him right out of the gate here.
Johnny Cueto. You and I were watching him take batting practice before the game today, more accurately described as bunting practice. That one tied him up. He went around. And Bruce out of there on strikes to begin the 6th inning. And it's no wonder, Cowboy, that Johnny Cueto's become such a good bunter. Want to get back to that in a second. The Crew, the Columbus Crew, trying to get back to their winning ways tonight. They'll host Toronto FC at Crew Stadium. And all the action is right here live on Fox Sports Ohio.
Tom, we talk about this so much about baseball being a repetitive sport, and to get better at anything in this game, you have to practice it. Perfect practice makes for perfect game time performance, and Cueto was bunting a whole lot in practice today.
That's when he decided to start putting him down to third baseline. You and I were sitting here watching the entire time. He's putting everything to first, pushing the ball to first, and then we said, okay, I wonder if he's going to try to go to third, and he made it look like nothing to him.
And this is from a guy, when he first came to the big leagues, he was not a very good bunter. And he has turned himself into a league leader in the sacrifice bunt category. I don't know that there are any times last year where he was asked to bunt and not able to get it down.
You know, it'd be interesting to look back as Frazier draws a walk. We talk all the time about how a pitcher handling the bat, whether it be with an occasional hit. Today, Matt Latos has 2 hits and 2 runs batted in. Or more times than not, being able to help yourself with a bunt. Be interesting to note, of Cueto's 19 wins last year, how many times one of those sacrifices either A, led to a run, or B, kept him in a game.
Well, you can guarantee one thing: if you get the bunt down successfully, you put a runner in scoring position. And for my money, you can't beat that from a pitcher's standpoint. I can get my leadoff hitter in Shin-Soo Choo with a chance at a runner at second base. You got a pretty good chance to have a run. And then when I'm on the mound, I want as many as I can get.
And the Reds have needed him today. They've given up 7 runs and 9 hits, but they have scored 12 so far. That one rolled foul off the end of the bat by Xavier Paul. Now they're coming out to see if Mike Gonzalez is okay.
Looks like he broke off the mound and then ended up limping. That quick stop and start on the mound sometimes hampers you either in the hamstring or along the inside of your upper leg in that groin area. And for a pitcher, that's devastating. That lower half of your body, you get that in trouble. I'm sure that's exactly what they wanted to know. They being the trainer for the Brewers and manager Ron Renick.
Dan Wright and Dave Yeager, the trainers. Dan Wright, the head man for the Milwaukee Brewers. Oh, and 2 to count. Nothing wrong with that pitch by Gonzalez.
Pretty good fastball, 91 miles an hour down and away from Xavier Paul.
Runner goes, and a throw down to second base, and that one jarred out of the glove. So safe with a stolen base is Frazier, his 3rd and 4 attempts.
Pretty good throw there by Jonathan LaCroix. Gene Segura moves to the bag. Just forgot to catch the baseball. Sometimes you try to tag before it's in the mitt, and it comes out the other end.
Reds have been a lot more aggressive here in this series than they've been in a series all year long. They throw the brakes on Frazier on the base hit into right field, and that ball gets through the cutoff man again, enabling Xavier Paul to never stop running and go straight to second base.
Good bit of base running there by Xavier Paul as Aoki came up with the throw, and as we've seen every outfielder now for the Brewers overthrow the cutoff man. Xavier Paul, like you said, Tom, he never even broke stride. It was almost as though it was an eyesight double right out of the gate.
You know, it goes back to something we've talked about with this Reds team and before this series, and how they basically have not done anything. Now, in all honesty, there have been a lot of stretches where the Reds have had a hard time just getting runners on base. We've seen that this year. But the last 2 nights have been as indicative of anything, that when the Reds are out there playing with some aggression, some of the little things that turn into potentially huge things that can happen. Here Frazier with 1 out after a walk steals a base. Now the next batter comes up a hit into right. More times than not the runner's going to score, but in this case he didn't. But you force a defense now into maybe making a mistake, and now you're second and third with only 1 out in the inning.
But I think more times than not, the reason that the Reds begin to run is indicated by the pitcher's leg kick and how quick he is to home plate.
But Cowboy, you know what I'm getting at. I mean, I know there are teams that run better, but the point is you look at a guy like Frazier, who really has had a hard time getting on base. He has 3 steals in 4 attempts so far this year. All right, now you average that out over the course of the season. It puts you into the 12 to 15 stolen base a year category. If Todd Frazier can steal 12 or 15 bases a year, there are a lot of guys that can steal 12 or 15 bases a year.
I would agree. That was not a bad throw by Jonathan LaCroix to second base.
In fact, he probably should have been out.
Yeah. Gonzalez, as with all of the Brewer pitchers, I mean, we have not seen a pitcher yet hold runners close at all. He's getting no chance to throw. And hence, the Reds are off to the races on the base paths.
And they're going to be running some more on a base hit into left field. Frazier is going to score, and Devin Mesoraco has 2 runs batted in today.
Well, that was a quick decision there by third base coach Chris Spire. He's got 2 base runners standing within 5 feet of each other. You go, you stay. You stay, you go. Sending Frazier home because of the way the ball came off the bat. Frazier had to pause for a moment, but the angle that Xavier Paul had at second base, he realized Braun's not going to get to this ball. I'm going. Well, he got to third base, and Frazier was still there. Look out.
Derek Robinson now to bat for Matt Latos. Latos goes 6 innings today. Allows 7 runs, 6 of the 7 earned runs. Gave up 9 hits. Walked 3 and fanned 4. Latos in line right now for the win. Reds leading 13-7. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Chased a fastball and came up empty.
And I hope there is not anyone out there that would even think for a second, well, Latos doesn't deserve the win today because he doesn't pitch like he normally would. This guy led the National League in no decisions last year. Every once in a while, you'd like to have a win like this.
You're right. He's earned it.
Yes, he has.
He has the highest winning percentage of any pitcher in Major League Baseball going back to the start of last season as Matt Latos. And, you know, for maybe those that don't watch the Reds regularly, these kinds of wins are so rare for any of the Reds pitchers.
And I still believe that the trade that the Reds made with San Diego is going to go down as one of the great trades, because I believe the best of Matt Latos is still yet to come. And he's been pretty good, save this start for today.
Second night in a row we've seen Gonzalez struggle. He gave up a home run, walked a couple of batters last night. 3-2 pitch, and it's ball 4. You know, they basically overhauled this entire bullpen outside of their closer, John Axford. In fact, he was the only guy back from the Brewer bullpen from opening day a year ago. And Cowboy, based on what little we have seen in the first 2 games of this series, and just knowing what has happened before the Brewers got here with their bullpen, there could be some rough days and nights for Rick Kranitz and for Ron Roenicke.
And I think a lot of it comes back to making quality pitches in the strike zone. And for a lot of these pitchers that come out of this Brewer bullpen, I mean, when you're behind in the count right out of the gate, you're not going to have good results. When you pitch out of the bullpen, you got to come in throwing strikes.
Chu 1 of 3. He's drawn a bases loaded walk to pick up an RBI. He has doubled and scored a run. 1-0 to Chu with the bases loaded, and now it's 2-0. And there's another pitcher falling behind another Reds batter. Popped up short left field, and Braun with a nice sliding catch. Boy, is that a nice play by Ryan Braun.
Not a real good decision by Xavier Paul at third base. He was tagging all the way, and then at the last second decided to get off the bag at third, thinking the ball was going to drop, and then he doesn't score at all. Well, that's a heck of a play right there. Long way to come, too.
Well, that's going to be all for Gonzalez. Brewers will go to their bullpen. They have Brandon Kinsler, a right-hander, getting loose. So he will come on to face the right-handed batting Zach Kozar. Back with more in a moment. Yes. In Northern Kentucky Honda dealers, and here now is your Honda game summary. Cowboy talked about Jay Bruce. Got the Reds scoring started when they fell behind 2-0 with a home run in the second inning. Reds got 5 in that inning. Bruce had a pair of doubles, one for an RBI, and a 7-run third. Matt Latos, maybe not on top of his game today, but he did have a couple of hits to drive in a pair of runs and scored a couple of runs. Shin-Soo Choo has driven in a pair as well. And the Reds lead 13-7. Bases loaded for Zach Kozar. And a check swing and a foul ball that got a piece of Jonathan Lucroy, who is shaken up on the play.
Brad Kinsler is the new pitcher for the Brewers. Kinsler has been pitching somewhat in the setup role with the problems that the Brewers have had at the end of the ball game, having to take Axford out of the closer's role. You see the check swing on a fastball there, and that looked to come off the ground and catch Jonathan Lucroy on the foot and then bounced up into the wrist.
Broken bat pop up and foul ground, and that will end the inning. So the Reds miss a chance to tack on more to that big lead. We go to the 7th, 13-7 Cincinnati. Brought to you by Cincinnati Children's Hospital, ranking 3rd in the nation on U.S. News and World Report's 2012 honor roll for best children's hospitals in America. And by Chevy. Visit your Tri-State Chevy dealer today. Get great pricing on a brand new Chevy. (13-7). Reds in front. And for the first time today, the Reds will go to their bullpen. Matt Latos out of the game and taking over on the mound. We'll tell you about him in a minute. Logan Ondrusek staying in a game to play left field after batting a moment ago. Part of a double switch now. Derek Robinson stays in there to replace Xavier Paul. And here's Logan Ondrusek.
You see the numbers for Ondrusek there. They can be awfully scattered here in the early going for a guy out of the bullpen. If you have one ball game that doesn't go your way, your ERA can crack to the sky in a hurry.
I'll tell you, the one guy that's beaten on the door to join this major league team was with the Reds each of the last 2 years after the Reds signed him following Tommy John surgery. And let's face it, Jose Arredondo last couple of years been pretty good for the Reds. Last year had an ERA at 1.9. He did not make the team out of spring training. Have you looked at his numbers this year so far in the minor leagues?
Pretty incredible.
It really is incredible. Of course, a 200 batting average is known as the Mendoza line. Well, they might have to start calling the 100 number the Arredondo line. 18 2/3 innings this year. He has struck out 29 batters and allowed 5 hits. An on-base percentage against him as that ball falls in for a hit of .088.
Wow. Wow.
Well, tonight, Reds fans from Montgomery County Job and Family Services rode the Fan Express to Reds country right here to Great American Ballpark. And we'd like to thank all of you who have been a part of this great program. So nice to have those folks with us, and the rest of you who took the Fox Sports Ohio Fan Express into the ballpark.
I'm not sure that Alex Gonzalez could have thrown that ball in a more perfect spot down the right field line where Votto and Bruce could not get to the baseball. And neither had a play on. Sure, Ondrusek, as that ball hit the ground, had to be saying to himself, "You got to be kidding me. You going to take that hit?" Yeah, they will.
Oh, yeah.
All of them.
Slow roller, Cozart, Phillips, and good, hard, clean slide out there at second base, and Phillips is down on all fours. You saw the runner out there, Alex Gonzalez, say, "Are you all right?" Phillips is, "Yeah, I'm fine."
Hey, Gonzalez knows he has taken plenty of beatings coming across that bag from the shortstop position. And it looked like the front knee of Phillips, at least the bottom half of the leg, collided with that front leg sliding in from Alex Gonzalez. And on a bang-bang double play ball, that's going to happen all the time. Phillips did a good job getting rid of it.
So now Gomez, couple of hits and 3 at bats today. National League's leading hitter, has that batting average up to .380.
One thing that Gomez has not changed in his game, until he gets 2 strikes, he is coming out of his shoes. Well, you talk about a guy getting every ounce of everything he's got into his swing. This guy does it.
There's another big rip.
Now with 2 strikes, this is where Gomez has changed his swing. He has started trying to go the other way with 2 strikes, and it has been very beneficial for his batting average.
We talked about it last night. We talked at length about the contract Gomez received during spring training. I think everybody was just in utter disbelief at the amount of money for a guy who basically until the All-Star break of last year had been sharing playing time with Nyjer Morgan with the Brewers, and that's only because Gomez was unable to lock down the everyday job over the last 2.5 years since he came over from Minnesota. But he had an outstanding second half of the season. Very well liked in the Brewer clubhouse. Upbeat guy. Plays hard.
A lot of energy.
Yep. Gives you everything he's got every night. Outstanding defender. Blazing speed. And once he signed that contract, at least through the first month and 11 days, he's been among the best hitters, if not the best hitter in the National League.
And let's face it, I mean, every player is different. It's just like with every walk of human life, the personalities differ among individuals on the baseball field.
Looked like he went around. Yep, strike 3.
There are some guys you give a long-term contract to, as we see Gomez trying to check his swing, not able to do so. That's when the aggressiveness works against you. But talking about long-term contracts, there's some guys you get a long-term contract and they try to play up to it, putting too much pressure on themselves, and they fail. Gomez gets a long-term deal, and he's played right into it. It's allowed him to relax and just play. And so far, it's worked out well for him and for the ball club. And ultimately, that's what you would like.
Giants are kicking around the Atlanta Braves today. Braves went out there to begin a 4-game series after they won 2 of 3 here. They beat the Giants in the opener. Tim Hudson got lit up last night. And more of the same today. Giants 10, Braves 1 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Chicago doing the same to the Nationals in the bottom of the 8th. 8-2 Cubbies. Told you the Cardinals have already shut out Colorado today 3-0. And the Pirates over the Mets 11-2. 2-1. Up and away. 3 balls and a strike on Weeks.
Only a few years ago, Ricky Weeks, he was as good a hitter as there was for a second baseman in the game. He has just had a very difficult time since injuring his ankle.
Weeks draws a 2-out walk, and the inning will continue for Betancourt.
It's appeared to be a cut fastball from Andrusik. Like a pretty good pitch.
Robinson in the bright sunshine makes a play, and that'll end the inning. A hit, 2 men left. They stand and stretch, rolling the 7th inning, and the Reds lead 13-7. As promised earlier in the game, our Miller time moment brought to you by Miller Lite, and really the misplay on the ball that you could read his lips after it was over. He said, "I couldn't see it." Ryan Braun just whiffed on a routine fly ball to left field with one on and one out. It wound up being a 5-run inning for the Reds, an inning in which they took the lead, a lead they have never relinquished. First pitch swinging is Joey Votto. 1 out. Brandon Kinsler beginning his first full inning of work. He came on to get the final out. Zach Cozart with the bases loaded in the 6th inning. Sellout crowd of 41,678 here today. And don't forget, tickets are available tomorrow, Mother's Day, final day of this homestand. Reds will be gone quite a while. They are off on Monday. That'll be a travel day for the team, so not really an off day for them as far as just getting away from everything. They'll be flying down to Miami. They'll play Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday there. Friday, Saturday, Sunday next weekend in Philadelphia. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday the following week at Citi Field against the New York Mets. And then they'll have an off day on the 23rd before opening that 5-game homestand we brought up earlier on Friday night, May the 24th. Cubs in for the first of 3, followed by a 2-game series against the Cleveland Indians. So it'll be a while before you can see the Reds play at home again.
You got to leave early on the off day so you can get down there to Miami and have dinner on the beach. You don't get to do that much.
No, you don't. Now the Reds changed locations where they stayed from the old days. Am I right?
Yes, you are.
They used to stay over there just a little bit north of Fort Lauderdale when the team was playing. As there's a swing and a miss, and Brandon is going to reach first base safely. That one getting away from the catcher, Lucroy. But now with the new ballpark, which by the way they are closing the upper deck, so while you're there for games during the week from now on, the Miami Marlins in the 2nd year of their brand new ballpark, because that's clearly a swing and a miss, and that's a pass ball on Lucroy. For games during the week, they are closing the upper deck. Well, you talk about high hopes, and I don't mean a slow spiral down. They barely drew over 1.3 million fans in their first year of a brand new ballpark. Sell all the players they have or trade them all away. And now in the 2nd year of a new stadium, the upper deck is closed.
Be just like the old Marlins. They're at Pro Player Stadium. Dolphin Stadium. Put tarps over that upper deck, change all the colors. Keep them nice and dry till football season. They packed them in.
Of course, the owner of that Marlins franchise, boy, you talk about
taking a beating,
falling out of favor in a hurry, and I mean in a hurry. That's why when you have good ownership of anything, whether it's a company that you work for, a company that I work for, one that the whole community really pays a lot of attention to, like this baseball team of the Reds, when you've got good ownership, it's just amazing all the things positive that can happen in a community. Not just whether or not you win the World Series, that's the goal of the baseball team, but the other things you're doing inside your community.
It is a major cooperative.
Slow number. Nice play by Kinsler.
Wow.
Doesn't get much better than that for a pitcher.
Falling away and still makes a perfect throw to first.
Remind you one more time, the Ohio Lottery Powerball jackpot worth $270 million. Drawing is tonight at 11 o'clock.
I think anytime in a professional franchise, when it works in smooth conjunction with the community, you can't ask for a better product. That's what the Reds have done here. Especially with what they're doing with the Reds Community Fund. Building baseball fields all over the place.
You know, that's something that obviously gets, you know, an unbelievable amount of publicity, and rightfully so. But, you know, you talk about the cooperative part of it. I mean, the Reds are also working hand in hand with so many other organizations that are doing such great work by just, for example, like the Bark in the Park thing. I mean, now, there's some people out there say, oh, you got to be kidding. You're letting, you know, dogs come in the ballpark, that kind of thing. And there's always going to be that crowd out there. No matter what you do, they're rolling their eyes. And, you know, those are the people that they don't have any friends.
Yeah, it's a reason for it.
The bottom line is all the goodwill and the pub it brings to the SPCA as an example. But there's so many others. I mean, whatever it might be. The Reds are involved in helping those organizations get the word out to help themselves. Frazier gone swinging. That'll end the inning. We go to the 8th. Reds in front 13-7.
Los Rojos.
Head and shoulders whiff of Old Spice. 4 strikeouts for Matt Latos today. 3 of them swinging. Our head and shoulders whiff of Old Spice. We look over across the river and a lot of folks hanging out tonight. As the skies have cleared up, the rain has stopped, and
what does that sign say? No parking?
No. Hey, do a little fishing this time of night.
No parking. No parking on the dance floor.
You can find some good catfish this time. Look at all those folks hanging out along the river tonight. Sun shining. Beautiful down there. Right on the edge of the park.
Baseball on the river.
No doubt about it, brother.
I like it.
Reds leading 13-7. First pitch swinging Logan Schaefer up there to bat for Kinsler. Kinsler did a nice job. He threw the ball well today. Went an inning and a third. Couple of strikeouts. No hits, no walks. Did you ask the question? Did I hear you right? Did you say, does that say no parking?
Yeah. I mean, they got a street sign right there on the water.
Fly ball into right field. Bruce is there. I'm going to go back to that a second. Guys, can we see a shot of that out there? No docking.
Oh, well, it's the same thing. Don't park your boat here, bro. All right.
Well, you know what? You're right about that.
No parking.
Well, look at that guy. Looks like he might have something on that line.
Bring it on in.
Let's see if he's got something there. Or is he just reeling in? And he's got a bucket of worms, I think, down there next to his right.
Right there. You a fisherman, Tom?
I like fishing. You know, I don't get to do it as much as I would like to, but I do enjoy it. I think it's really a lot of fun. You like doing it?
Oh, believe it. I'll lay out a line with the best of them. Especially when there's prospects on the other end.
Two and one account on Aoki. Two and two to count.
Boy, Aoki likes that ball up in the strike zone. We saw him hit one out earlier on a pitch almost identical to that.
Three and two on Aoki. Hard hit ball. Look at Phillips. Every day. Every day.
That ball was hit awfully hard to the backhand side of Phillips. And he makes this look routine. This ball is scalded, has to go down to both knees and backhand the ball on a major topspin hop. Sit down.
Well, no one going to get to this. Shot down the right field line by Segura. Boy, is this guy an impressive young hitter.
As good as he has been on the ball out over the plate, it almost makes you ask the question, do you have to throw him anything that's not inside? I mean, every time we see this, he's got that power V here. Perfect extension with the bat out over the plate. That ball is right over the heart of the plate and up. That ball was lucky that he didn't hit it out of the ballpark like we saw earlier. He's already done that twice on that same pitch.
It's a 4-hit game today for Segura. Has that batting average up to a whopping .352. That ball was killed too.
Hit it to the wrong guy.
Right about that. They hit a man left. Reds will bat in the bottom of the 8th. Leading big. game of this series and this homestand. And Bronson Arroyo will toe the rubber for the Redlegs. He'll be opposed by right-hander Willie Peralta, young man they brought up last year.
And I would imagine come tomorrow at 110, Bronson Arroyo will be looking to get back on the right track for this starting rotation.
Arroyo had been pitching so well this year. It's only last start or two that has put that earned run average up over 3.5.
New pitcher,
Jim Henderson.
Jim Henderson, he has moved into the closer's role. And if you ask why, well, he throws strikes as indicated by the 4 walks and the 17 strikeouts. 1.29 earned run average.
Logan Schaefer remains in the game to play left field. Henderson is the pitcher that some of you may remember we told the story last year. Last year at 30 years old, reached the major leagues for the first time after pitching in the minor leagues for over 10 years. Was originally drafted by the Montreal Expos in the 26th round, going all the way back to 2003. The Cubs picked him up from Washington in the AAA phase of the Rule 5 draft in 2006. Cubs released him in 2009. Milwaukee signed him. Last year he came up for 36 games and an ERA of 3.5. It's really an amazing journey. Young man who attended Tennessee Wesleyan College, born in Canada.
And he's got a great arm. I mean, a mid-90s fastball, but command has always been the issue.
Jack Hanahan batting for the first time in a game, batting for the pitcher Andrusic, who goes 2 innings of 2-hit no-run baseball. Hanahan gone swinging. Been a good day for Devin Mesoraco. Been on base 3 times. 2 hits in 3 at-bats. Has scored twice and knocked in a pair of runs today.
That double back in the 3rd inning. That was a backbreaker for the Brewers.
Number of other games just getting underway up in Cleveland, or up in Detroit rather. Cleveland scoring in the opening inning, and Indians are playing pretty good baseball right now. They've won 8 out of 10 under Terry Francona. Texas and Houston just starting. LA and Chicago, that's the Angels. Yankees are in Kansas City. Baltimore 2 runs in the top of the 1st, still batting in Minnesota. And 2 other games, only 2 games late tonight, out in Los Angeles and in Arizona. Dodgers will be trying to end an 8-game losing streak. They will be hosting the Miami Marlins. Cardinals have won today. Pirates have won today. Reds trying to win today.
Henderson would have been on the mound today whether it was a closing situation or not. He hasn't pitched since May 7th. And Ron Renicky wanted to get him in the game today. So far, so good for the Brewers closer. Back-to-back strikeouts. And that at bat by Devin Mesoraco is our Mazda pitch-by-pitch sequence. Fastball down and away, 1 ball. Fastball fouled off to the third base side. A breaking ball that spins on the inside corner for a strike. That one bounces away, and this is the put-away pitch. That is a nasty breaking ball, starting right in the middle and dropping straight down for strike 3.
So now Derek Robinson, he came on to pinch hit in the 6th inning for Matt Latos and drew a walk. It's been a while since we've seen Robinson back from the left side. He's been bothered by that sore oblique. Puts a bat on the ball here in his throw out. A perfect 8th for Henderson. So now the Reds trying to finish them off. Off to the 9th we go. 13-7 Cincinnati. On what has turned out to be an absolutely beautiful late Saturday afternoon, early Sunday evening. Our John Morrell hot dog play of the game. Speaking of beautiful, how about Kozar? The pirouette and in time on the throw to get Yunieski Betancourt back in the 4th inning.
It's almost a thing of art to watch that kind of play and the timing that goes with it. One false step. You don't get your hand in the right spot, just a little bit of off timing. You either fall down, you trip over your feet, or you throw it in the seats. None of those happen.
Jack Hanahan, after batting a moment ago, remains in the game to play third base. And taking over on the mound, J.J. Hoover. Trying to get the final outs here on a big day for the Reds, trying to make it back-to-back wins over their division rivals, the Brewers, and gun for the 3-game sweep tomorrow. Strike 1 on Alex Gonzalez, who had a bloop single his first time up after running for Ramirez back in the 7th inning. Or in the 5th inning he ran for him, I beg your pardon. Had the base hit in the 7th. Reds might be wearing these Los Rojos jerseys a lot if they're going to score 13 runs and 14 hits. Tapper down to third. Hanahan bare hands throws. Oh my. Oh my. Whether it's the regulars like Phillips and Votto, you bring in one of your bench players and Hanahan, the Reds are doing it with 11.
Watch Hanahan come in on this ball, take an angle, knowing he had to barehand it, a do-or-die play. And again, on both ends, barehanded, perfect snag by Votto at first. That's how you get it done. That is beautiful.
Yeah, I don't mean to shortchange Votto on that. That was a nice pick over there as well, as was the one last night. I find myself laughing after you telling me the story yesterday about how you learned what rojo means in Espanol. I found myself cracking up thinking about it. Would you care to share that story with the rest of the folks out there?
Well, it was my first year in winter ball. I was playing in Puerto Rico. I didn't really know what rojo meant. I thought it was red, but I wasn't positive. And the Latin guys on the team in Puerto Rico, they were all calling me Cuello Rojo. And so finally I said, what are you talking about? What's Cuello Rojo? And they said, red neck. I was like, oh, man.
That's good stuff.
Mississippi boy just can't catch a break. Red neck, Cuello Rojo, for you scoring at home.
That's a funny story. Hey, you got to learn the language somehow.
Yeah.
Right? There's a swing and a miss, and the Brewers are down to their final out. We'll make sure to get to the Reds Hall of Fame and Museum right now. Check out that Joe Morgan exhibit. It's winding down. Plan your next visit to the Reds Hall of Fame and Museum by visiting redsmuseum.org today. Sellout crowd. Started as a very cloudy, chilly day. Still a little bit on the chilly side, but nothing but blue skies above. And certainly that holds true for the Reds right now. Things have been a little cloudy on offense on this homestand. Outside of the back-to-back swings to beat Kimbrel and the Braves in the ninth inning, their lone win in that series. But last night they get 4 runs, which was enough. 13 of them today. And one more out from back-to-back wins over Milwaukee.
Well, Gomez really likes to get the bat started early.
Same thing last time. He went around on the pitch up and in. And the Reds, for the first time all year long, are 5 games over 500. Their record goes to 21 up against 16 down. And tomorrow they go for the sweep. 13-7 final. We'll be back in a moment.